and you go prepare to beat somebody. No, even when somebody has run away from you, after you have scared them, and they are running to the other direction, you come beating them in the head, in the back. Now, when you are beating somebody in the back, when he is running away from you, you see, the police and security forces should scare, if so, they don't want them to break the law or whatever. When you scare them and they are going the other direction where you want them to go, leave them. But continue scaring them, but don't go and beat until the enconi gets broken.
But you would also equally be baffled or rather intrigued to note that at the onset, at the beginning of the campaigns, they were largely peaceful. Now, security says initially there was compliance to the rules, but now candidate Kyagulanyi is acting contrary to the rules, and that is provoking the fight.
From the beginning, there were processions. From the beginning, there were those unauthorized processions. So it's not true. It is only that the methods have changed, or alternatively, you find where people are being beaten is where maybe the NRM is strong, I don't know, or where they are extremists. Now, if you take the cases of Sanga, people were beaten in Sanga, in Chiruhura.
Chiruhura, yes.
Yes. Why did the other group know in advance that maybe these people are going to stop here? You just come with sticks to beat them there. Premeditated. I don't think that was not premeditated. It was premeditated. Just like the one of Guru, you can see it was premeditated to come and disrupt the rally. I saw that the Electoral Commission also gives guidelines to the effect that when a president district on the same day. Now, the other questions of Sanga, I think, and Chiruhura, what is the other town? Rushere. I think even parliamentary candidates had not been allowed to campaign by that time. So why on earth had people prepared to put on the yellow T-shirts and come and meet the other group?
Is the resurgence of violence during campaigns a new phenomenon, a phenomenon that should upset the country, or it was more or less expected?
But you have been here, you are not a young person. You know what has been going on. It's not new.
Precisely.
I have told you it is intensity.
It's not new. How come the country has never worked towards curing the eternal problem?
Then you should have asked that. You should have asked me why it has become now. It has been there.
Why should it upset us? We should be saying it's expected.
So, if it is expected, we leave something bad continue to happen?
No.
It's like people saying that I'm poor, therefore it is expected I'm poor, I want to get out of poverty.
I find it ironical that today we are where we are, the country is where it is, yet there's been 5 years to find a cure for it.
It's not only 5. There was violence in 61, here especially in Buganda, orchestrated by Mengo, which also had dehumanized the Roman Catholics and beat them in 61. So much so that people's houses were burnt, those who attempted to register and vote. 61. We didn't pay much attention to it. In 1980, there was violence to the extent that candidates of DP who were going to get nominated in Arua were arrested at a roadblock on the excuse that they were kind of rebels or whatever, and they didn't nominate to be candidates. There was, in fact, some candidates even died in that violence. There has been violence since 1996, actually since 1993 during the CA elections. I come from Mutungamu. There was violence between the supporters of Kamwesiga and supporters of Ruzindana. And the security operatives came on the side of one of the candidates. So there has been violence since that time.
What explains
this is intensity now?
Okay, what explains the lackluster response or this attitude that we let violence pass without getting to the root of it, discussing it and curing. Kenya, for instance, after the 2007 elections, sat down to give a clear diagnosis of the problem. And ever since, there's been a sense of calm, at least, a bit of calm.
Yeah, it's because those in power, those in charge of power, those in charge of the state, I think realized the challenge and have had what we call self-correction. For example, I'm going to give you an example. As we talk now, according to me and some people I have talked to, when you go to Guru, in the Guru city, the most influential people there currently, those who can reign on people so that we have calm and advice and whatever, are people like Honorable Mao, Honorable Mapenduzi, General Salim Sare, General Okema. I think these are very prominent in the Guru city and could advise. Have you heard them make statements about what happened on Friday? Was it Friday?
Saturday, yes.
What happened on Friday? Have you heard them make a statement? So it appears as if some people think that violence is a norm. Violence liberates. You know, people are confusing revolutionary violence with criminal violence. Violence is not necessarily negative. There could be cases where violence is necessary for purposes of keeping the national integrity of the country, or for a revolutionary violence, as people like Franz Fanon would put it. They would distinguish between revolutionary violence and criminal violence. Now, where you premeditate beating somebody who is not even having a stone, where you start covering up the number plates. By the way, the question of number plates is serious. In most of these elections, and by elections especially, we have seen vehicles of security forces which are numberless. And you people in the media have pointed it out time and again that a vehicle which is numberless is on intent to commit a crime. Because even a security vehicle, when it comes with a number plate, and you know that it is a number plate, it is a security vehicle, as a civilian, as a citizen, I should surrender to that security force when they come to restrain me or to arrest me, and I surrender. But now if you come in a numberless vehicle, how do I know you are not a criminal vehicle? It's not a criminal vehicle. And the Electoral Commission has never, ever commented on that numberless vehicles which go around. To have a numberless vehicle is an indicator that you are intending to commit a crime. So we have not discussed the numberless vehicles.
Is the Electoral Commission overwhelmed or resigned?
No, they are not overwhelmed. I think they don't mind. That's my feeling. Because the only Electoral Commission and the Electoral Commissioner whom I had taking steps to avoid these incidents was Mr. Kabgai, Commissioner Kabgai, chairman. Maybe
96, 2001.
CA.
Actually, 93. He started in 92.
Yes. In 93 or thereabout. For him, he would, by then we didn't have even these phones now. He would go on radio and say, police officer in this area, you have been seen to disturb the electors, the voters. Can you please stop that habit? I would be listening. That was a Kabgai. Since that time, I have not had the chairman of the Electoral Commission picking a phone or being on air like your TV here and saying that I have heard police is causing violence, or candidate Y, you are disturbing in the area Y, X, please can you behave accordingly, so that the general public hears it and the person who is intending to commit the crime knows that he's being watched by an authority above him, and that authority can cause him to be arrested and prosecuted. But the Electoral Commission, since that time, they have kept quiet. They have been making comments, which I think they are right to comment upon. Comments about Kyagulanyi holding processions or maybe appearing at a rally after 6, which they should do.
Validly.
Validly. But why use selective application of your regulations? Processions. Who hasn't seen processions of the other group of NRM also? In Mbarara, in Mbare, in Kabare, in wherever. There are also processions. In Kampala here, we have seen processions. There are these militias which have started, which should be condemned. There is a Gari and there is a ghetto structures. They have condemned the Gari, which they should, but they don't condemn the ghetto structures. In terms of drills, I have seen people also of NRM having drills, and then they are only condemning the drills of NUP. I don't know, this drill thing also has come up. Scouts have drills. Are they going also to be arrested? I have seen people even in the morning hours running around and doing exercises, doing drills if you want. Even in their homesteads, I have seen at the university, students waking up, especially when the lectures have not started, the academic semester has begun. They go around drilling. I mean, are we going to address anybody who has done a drill? Although I'm not saying that we should train militias. That one should be condemned and handled, but then handle both of them.
Yeah, but what, generally speaking, is the fate of electoral democracy as violence continues rearing its ugly head on the campaign processes?
So, we are having electoral violence. We have been having electoral violence, and I would call upon all the members of the political class to take time off and discuss the question of electoral violence. Because electoral violence, when it rears its ugly head and you just ignore it, it will reach a time when it will boil. And come, all of you will have problems. I was in UPM in 1980, and the UPC had the military behind it because they instituted